Going to look at some workout video of the Max Speed Football Clinic up in Cleveland on April 21st, 2024. There were a lot of very nice prospects on hand, but one of the best of the night was Brandon Caesar. He's about 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds. Looks really lean right now because he's coming out of wrestling season, and if you've been through a wrestling season, you know how hard it is to keep on weight. I think it would be very challenging for Brandon to stay at 250. I think he's probably just going to get bigger and bigger. Looks like a defensive end right now, but probably could play 3 technique in college because of his get off and his pass rush ability. Always looking for those explosive guys at 3 technique. You can see him here doing some pass rush moves and some of the drills he went through that night. The next prospect is also from Cleveland Heights, but in the class of 2026, Antonio Williams Jr. Looks to be one of the top defensive backs in the class by this time next year. Should have a great summer. You can see him here in some of the drills. We've watched him at Raw Talent for a few weeks. Does a nice job of sinking his hips in and out of breaks. You can see here him flipping the hips and coming out of the break. Did some press coverage and during drills and did a good job gluing himself to receivers. He's going to be a very valuable commodity in this recruiting process because of his ability to play man-to-man, especially press man-to-man and Velcro himself to receivers. You may remember quarterback Kylan Stuball from Villa Angela St. Joseph, but he is now at Euclid in the class of 2025. Very athletic quarterback that runs the ball well, but he also has one of the bigger arms in the class. You can see that ball coming out of there with some zip on it. I think he just needs some reps and some polish to his game, and he'll be one of the best quarterbacks in the class. He definitely has the arm strength, and I can guarantee he'll be turning heads this summer when he gets to the college camps. Ammar Atkins is a big, strong, 200-pound receiver from Cleveland Heights in the class of 2025. Very thick lower body, very explosive in and out of the breaks. He showed off some great hands in some of these receiver drills. Already holds multiple Division I offers, and he'll be a guy out on the camp circuit this summer that should be picking up more offers. As you can see there, he's showing off his hands and plucking the ball out of the air. Showing off some nice footwork here as he changes up the speed on his out pattern. Another big-time receiver from Cleveland Heights in the class of 2026 is Jeff Ward. He's listed at 6'4", and he looks every bit of that in person, tall and long. You can see his reach there as he goes pluck balls out of the air. Has a very nice skill set with all that length. Did a good job of one-on-ones fighting for the balls and bringing balls in. We even got a clip of him playing cornerback here, and you can see what his length does over a corner. He can blanket people and cover them up. Now we'll take a look at offensive lineman from Hawkins School, Jackson Haden, in the class of 2025. He's listed around 6'4", 270 pounds. He was working out as an offensive and defensive lineman on the night. I see him as an offensive lineman in college, probably a tackle or a guard. He got some great working at this camp going against Brandon Caesar from Cleveland Heights, one of the top prospects in the state. Although they're just in t-shirt and shorts here, you can see what his length and his reach can do. And you get a chance to check out his kick step and his pass protection here as you see his feet work back. Glenville fans will remember Jamil Ham playing defensive end for them last year, but he has transferred to Cleveland Heights. He's in the class of 2025. He was a linebacker type, maybe defensive end type. If he keeps growing, he may even be up to play defensive tackle in college, but he's about 6'3", 235 pounds. You can see him working the hands and has some quickness there on the pass rush. Another long prospect out of Cleveland Heights is Taon Harwell, class of 2025. He stood out right away with those long arms, and as you saw him catch balls here, did a confident job of plucking the ball out of the air, make some great plays with those hands fighting for the ball. You see him here in one-on-one using his size and his strength to pull balls in. I think he's one of those players that just needs to test well this summer and could come out with some offers. Certainly has the body type for the position. And the quarterback with one of the biggest arms on the night was Will Randall out of Madison, class of 2026. He's a big, strong drop back type of quarterback. Has a little bit of a sidearm, but he spins it really well and showed some good accuracy flicking it out there to the receivers. You can see here on this out, there's plenty of velocity and he can really spin it to where he needs to get it. Sincere Moore from Mayfield, class of 2025, worked out at linebacker, defensive end, running back. He strikes me as a very versatile prospect, might even be a strong safety in college. He had no problem mixing it up with the defensive backs, but he also had no problem going down there and mixing it up with the offensive linemen and showing off his pass rush ability. Next up in the class of 2025 is Jamarion Banks from Warrensville Heights. He has very good size for a running back and defensive back. Watched him do drills on both sides of the ball. Did a great job in the one-on-ones and coverage here, making some plays. Probably has to be a player that when he gets into camps this season tests real well to catch people's eye, but definitely has some good size at running back. Simon Williams from Cleveland Heights, class of 2026. Looked like a versatile linebacker, defensive back type. You see him going through drills here. He's one of those players that we'll be keeping an eye on for his junior year to see if he breaks out. Same with Deshaun Phillips from Cleveland Heights, class of 2025. Looked good at drills, looked good in one-on-ones, made a couple plays on the ball. Definitely enough to catch your eye and flash some ability. Reggie Reynolds, class of 2025 from Cleveland Heights, is another player to add to that list at defensive back there. See him making a play on the ball, has some reach and some length to him. I also need to mention some of the quarterbacks on the night. Justin Godbolt from Elyria, quarterback, class of 2025. As you can see here, he spun it really well, showed some accuracy in these one-on-one drills, made the receivers look good by throwing some darts in there. He's a guy that I'll be checking out during the season. And although Ashore Wilson was in a boot, he's in the class of 2026 at Cleveland Heights. You can see there he's got spin on the ball, does a nice job of accuracy and placing it, although he couldn't step into everything very well. And one of the younger guys on the night, class of 2028, Amari Sells from Cleveland Heights. He's a kid that I'll be watching in the future. Looks like he's going to be an explosive receiver. Did a great job catching balls from the varsity quarterbacks on hand. Overall, it was a great night at the Max Speed Football Clinic. Saw a lot of great young guys with some top prospects in the Cleveland area. Looking forward to coming back to another event up here in Painesville. Great job by all the prospects on hand.